For generations, roads have been viewed through a narrow lens, as flat, utilitarian stretches of pavement, their primary function to move vehicles from one point to another. They are often seen as necessary expenses, money sinks that require constant maintenance, funded by tax dollars, and offering little in the way of direct economic return. But what if that perspective were fundamentally flawed? What if, instead of liabilities, our roads could become assets, dynamic, revenue-generating spaces that alleviate urban crowding, unlock new real estate, and empower a decentralized, business-driven future? Imagine a world where we stop expanding outward and begin to build upward, transforming our existing roads into multi-level, mixed-use structures that multiply the benefits of every square foot of urban land. This is not the fantasy of floating cities or science fiction highways in the clouds. The concept is far more grounded. Reclaim the vertical space above our roads and put it to work. Each new level becomes an opportunity, a platform for commerce, parking, community, or even living space. The asphalt ribbon that once divided neighborhoods could instead connect them, providing not just passage, but places to gather, shop, rest, or recharge. At its core, the idea is elegantly simple. Take the single-use road and reimagine it as a stackable, modular platform. The first level remains dedicated to traffic: cars, buses, bicycles, and pedestrians. Above, a second or third level could house parking or logistics, allowing delivery trucks and commuters to pull off without clogging curb space. Higher still, layers of retail, food courts, green spaces, and even small residential units could be built, all seamlessly integrated with ramps, elevators, and stairways for easy access. This approach is not without precedent. We already see elements of it in multi-story parking garages, which squeeze dozens of cars into the footprint of a single lot, in elevated train platforms and sky bridges that connect office towers, in sprawling malls that stack shops and services across several floors. The architectural know-how exists. What is new is the vision of applying these principles directly above the arteries that pulse through our cities, the roads themselves. Imagine exiting a highway not to a ground-level rest stop, but ascending to a multi-level complex above the road. Here, you might find charging stations for electric vehicles, fuel pumps, convenience stores, restaurants, gyms, co-working pods, or even small parks. Truckers could park overnight in elevated lots, safely separated from traffic, and with access to showers and lounges. Commuters could grab coffee, families could picnic on a rooftop green space, or travelers could catch up on work in a quiet pod overlooking the city. Each of these upper levels becomes a source of revenue. Businesses would eagerly lease space in high-traffic corridors, funneling rent back to fund the maintenance and enhancement of the underlying road. Elevated parking would generate steady income, relieving curb congestion and providing much-needed options in densely populated areas. There are even opportunities for innovative uses, emergency shelters or micro-apartments that can be activated in times of crisis, compact data centers or battery storage for integrated solar canopies, and recreational spaces that give city dwellers access to nature and fitness without leaving the urban core. Of course, with new opportunities come new challenges. Safety is paramount. Any multi-level road system must be designed to withstand emergencies, fires, earthquakes, collisions, without risking lives. Fortunately, decades of experience with parking structures and high-rise buildings have yielded robust solutions: multiple exits and evacuation routes, sprinkler systems, ventilation, crash barriers, and fire-resistant materials. These technologies can be adapted and improved for the unique context of elevated roads, ensuring that each layer is independently supported and can be evacuated quickly if needed. Implementation, too, is a gradual process. Vertical expansion is not cheap, and initial pilot projects would likely be concentrated in urban centers where demand for retail and parking is highest. Local governments could lease or auction air rights above roads to private enterprises, community trusts, or benefit corporations. These entities, in turn, would be responsible for construction, operation, and maintenance, funded not by taxes, but by the profits generated from leasing space to businesses or providing parking and amenities. This public-private partnership model incentivizes innovation and efficiency. If a company can profit from building above a road while also improving it, everyone benefits. There are regulatory hurdles to clear. Zoning laws and city ordinances may need to be updated to allow for new heights and mixed uses above existing roads. Careful planning is essential to ensure that access ramps, elevators, and stairways do not create bottlenecks or impede traffic flow. Noise and pollution from the road below must be insulated to ensure that commercial and residential spaces above are pleasant and livable. Most importantly, the public must be engaged throughout the process, with transparency and accountability, to ensure that these new ventures serve the broader community, not just private interests. Still, the potential rewards are enormous. By stacking uses vertically, cities can multiply the utility of every square foot dedicated to transportation, creating new real estate, new jobs, and new services without further sprawl. Maintenance costs decrease as roads become self-funding. Urban density increases, supporting public transit and reducing vehicle miles traveled. And the value created is shared between local governments, businesses, and citizens alike. Picture a 4-level urban corridor. At street level, vehicles and buses flow smoothly, aided by smart signals and real-time data. Above, delivery trucks and commuters park in shaded lots, freeing up curb space below. One level higher, a vibrant marketplace bustles with restaurants, shops, and community spaces, shaded by trees and solar panels. At the very top, small apartments and co-working spaces offer affordable, flexible options for workers, students, or families, all powered by clean energy harvested from the sun. This vision is not just about efficiency or profit. It's about creating freedom, opportunity, and sustainability for everyone who uses a road. By reimagining infrastructure as modular, multifunctional, and open to entrepreneurial innovation, we can build cities that are more resilient, adaptable, and human-centric. Roads become more than just paths from point A to point B. They become engines of economic growth, pillars of community life, and platforms for a more decentralized, prosperous future. The next time you see a stretch of highway or a busy city avenue, don't just see a slab of asphalt. Imagine what could rise above it: layers of activity, enterprise, and connection, all working together to create a richer, more dynamic urban experience. The future of roads is not just beneath our wheels, it's above our heads, waiting to be built.